started. Again, thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tim. Thank you to everybody. I'm Mike Zagorsek. I'm a COO at SoundHound, and I just really appreciate all these opportunities to come together as a community, if not in person, then virtually. We're a small group, but we're really growing, and I think we'll look back on these days in the past as really the start of something amazing. And it's a big market out there, and it's growing, and we're all in this together. And I think if we succeed with voice, we all succeed as a group. So I'm going to talk a little bit about SoundHound and Automotive, and then hopefully we have time for a quick demo. We only have 10 minutes, and it is a lightning talk, so I'm gonna go quickly. But then, of course, happy to go into more detail as we get through into the breakouts and the discussion sessions. So about SoundHound, we've been in the business over 15 years. We're a global company. We're based in Santa Clara, San Francisco Bay Area, but with offices in Europe, Paris, Berlin, not Munich, unfortunately, but we do have a presence in Germany and, of course, in Asia. We have three main products. A lot of people know us for our music discovery app, which we've had for the duration of the company. But 5 years ago, we launched two new products, Hound and Houndify. And Houndify is really what I'm going to be talking about today. It is our voice AI platform, and it's the thing that is ultimately powering our business and moving forward as a developer platform. We're a company that we're in a lot of automotive, including our partners with Mercedes, primarily in North America, serving their cloud experience, but also cross-product. And we think it's really interesting to have a product ecosystem, because really voice is a unifier. Dominic talked about cars being the third space, but when you're speaking to your car or home or different products, your voice is the thing that you carry with you. So having a cross-product ecosystem we think is really powerful. But we are in automotive, and automotive is a really interesting first mover, as they say. So I thought I'd just spend a couple slides on why automotive and voice AI. They're enthused adopters of voice AI, and I came up with 5 reasons that I think are really important. And as people are in different industries, they need to ask themselves very similar questions. One is that automotive car companies have used some form of voice interaction for a long time. Robert shared back in the mid-1990s an early concept car that was exploring it. So this is something that's been pretty well established. However, there's a shift to connected cars. My point number 1 is really about embedded technology that was fairly limited. You had to memorize specific commands. Connected cars are becoming part of the Internet of Things, and that shift to being connected is really opening up possibilities. The other is they're seeing increasing impact from iOS and Android mobile. So people are plugging their phones into cars, and that is a bit of a takeover of the infotainment system. And then increasingly from Alexa and Google, who themselves are offering services and voice, but ultimately it's a bit of a battle for the operating system of the car. And this encroachment of consumer products into automotive is pretty unprecedented. And the companies that are really advanced and innovative are recognizing it moving forward. They're also used to working with partners, integrating parts. So the auto companies, they know what they're good at, and they know how to bring in the best partners in order to create the end result. So partnerships are key. And it's complex production, longer term roadmaps, increased anticipation of in-market tech. The car companies need to know 4 years from now going to be relevant, and they have to start working on things today. They don't have the luxury of consumer product innovation the way they used to. Although increasingly, as car companies are becoming software driven, computers on wheels, as it's been said, they themselves can start iterating and being a lot more nimble and adaptable. And again, our partners and friends at Mercedes recognize this, are investing heavily in their MBUX as a result. But we talk about the value of voice AI. What does it actually provide? Well, it's a powerful interface, and obviously it improves product experience, but we like to really focus on the business impact. In one way, voice AI can lower costs. When you're interacting with your voice and you're talking to a voice AI, it doesn't require a person on the other side. So you can optimize your resources and allow people to self-serve much more powerfully. It increases revenues. If you start transacting, you do voice commerce, the ability for AI to identify what customers need is really powerful and can be done much more effectively than any other system. Increases retention. This is probably something that we focus on tremendously. So it's customer personalization and loyalty, loyalty to the brand. It enables new use cases. Really, it's the full potential of IoT. Not every device can have a screen or an interface, and you can create a whole new set of use cases with voice that you couldn't before. And of course, last but not least, safety, driver distraction, and especially touchless interfaces in the wonderful world of post-pandemic that we're experiencing now. So these are just a good reminder that we really focus on the business value, because companies are going to adopt voice AI not simply because it's cool tech or it's innovative. It really has to impact things. We're seeing a tremendous amount of adoption. The stat that I would focus on is the second one, that the projection just keeps going up, that 90% of new vehicles globally are projected to have voice assistance by 2028. And that really is inclusive of cloud-based assistance, as connected cars are becoming the mainstay now. And we talk about having a voice AI strategy. So 10, 15 years ago, you needed a mobile strategy. Today, you need a voice AI strategy, and it really needs to be your own. We recommend that your voice AI strategy can and should include some of the big tech platforms like Google or Amazon, but you really need to be mindful of your own brand and your own experience, because Google and Alexa are really important services that are voice enabled. But are they really the main interface for your product and your brand? And what we've seen both firsthand and secondhand is that companies realize they need to own their customer relationships and they need to be the interface. And this is where we are today, right? We had these major platform shifts from the 80s, 90s, 2000s to today. Voice is very much in the mainstream. And we're going to have billions of connected devices, and cars are connected devices. Hundreds of millions of these connected devices will be automotive, and they will have unique capabilities, but ultimately they're part of this connected ecosystem. So in the spirit of keeping things moving, I thought I would do a quick demo for you guys to show you our technology. I'm using our voice assistant app called Hound. It's a great channel into Houndify. It's available in the US and Canada. Unfortunately, if you're in Europe, it's not on the App Store in Europe yet. But this gives us a really good insight into our technology, how it works, and why we feel we've made a pretty good impact into this space. So I'll start with a simple query and make it more complex and show you some different examples. So I'll start with a simple one, which I think will work for most places. What time is it in Munich when it's 9 a.m. here?
It is 6 p.m. in Munich when it is 9 a.m. here.
So this is using our cloud-based voice assistant. You can see it's quite quick and responsive. We can handle a lot more complexity. So if I add a little bit more to it, I can say, what time is it in Munich, London, Beijing, and Tokyo when it's 9 a.m. here?
It is 6 p.m. in Munich and 5 p.m. in London and 1 a.m. the next day in Beijing and 2 a.m. the next day in Tokyo when it is 9 a.m. here.
So you can see it handled a lot of those complex components fairly quickly, but it can also handle multiple categories. So if I say something like, what's the capital of Germany, China, and Taiwan, and what's the temperature in Tokyo?
The capital is Berlin for Germany, Beijing for China, and Taipei for Taiwan. It is 47 degrees in Tokyo.
So you can see that it can handle multiple categories in a single query and multiple variable points. And that's really important because it starts to feel a lot more like conversational voice AI as opposed to just simply simple monosyllabic commands. We also have an integration with restaurant information. We have a domain integration across every category. So I can show with that integration with the APIs that we have, I can and the voice technology that we have, I can do some pretty complex queries. I'll give you another example of a restaurant search with filtering and criteria, and including landmark references. Show me restaurants within a half mile of the Space Needle that are open Wednesdays past 9 p.m. with outdoor space.
Here are several restaurants within 0.5 miles of Space Needle that are open after 9 p.m. on Wednesdays that have outdoor seating.
And we maintain context, so you can do refinement, but you can also do refinement using a negative. I'll give you an example of that. Don't show me any Italian or Chinese ones.
Okay. Here are several restaurants excluding Italian restaurants or Chinese restaurants.
Only show ones that have at least 4 stars.
Okay. Here are several restaurants with more than 4 stars.
And then we can also carry over to different functionality use cases in the shift in domain. So I can say something like, how long will it take from the Seattle airport to the third one?
It will take approximately 24 minutes to drive 12 miles from Seattle Tacoma International Airport to Taqueria Cantina located at 2630 First Avenue in Seattle.
So you can see how the maintaining the context and the complexity and the filtering really carries forward a real conversational nature. And the way our system works is it can handle really even a lot more complexity. I'll give you one last demo example. In this case, it's a hotel search that includes some double negatives. And I think if you challenge any other voice assistant or technology for these types of queries, you'll see where the limitations set in. So I'll try this one. Show me hotels in San Francisco for next Friday that are less than $600, but not less than $300, are pet-friendly, have a gym and a pool with at least 3 stars, staying for 2 nights, and don't include anything that doesn't have Wi-Fi.
Showing 2 results with availability with more than 3 stars in San Francisco for tomorrow, March 5th, staying for 2 nights between $300 and $600 per night that are pet friendly, have fitness facilities, have a swimming pool, and provide Wi-Fi.
Sort by lowest price.
Okay, showing 2 results sorted by lowest price.
What if I check in tonight and stay for 2 nights?
Okay, showing 2 results for today, March 4th, staying for 2 nights.
So that's just a quick demonstration of the technology. And this was not a canned demo. This is our live technology in action through the Hound app. But of course, it's the same technology that we provide all of our partners, including Mercedes and some of the other brands that you saw there. And to spend a little bit, a few minutes on what this is it uses our speech to meaning technology. So the traditional approach, as many of you know if you're in the space, it's speech to text, and then NLU interprets the text, but that tends to be fairly keyword based. We've created a system that processes the speech and the meaning at the same time, which is why we call speech to meaning. So it provides speed because it's processing the text as you're speaking, and it's accurate because it's contextualizing what you're saying to the right domain in real time. So it's proprietary technology that allows for this speed and accuracy. Some of the complexity is really about pulling together all these different variables to understand really what people are actually trying to say, which is why we can handle complex statements and negatives. And ultimately, it's a completely new and innovative way of handling speech that was really designed around talking as opposed to text-based inputs. I mean, we can handle text inputs, but our system was designed for voice, and ultimately that's where we get some of our advantages. We have a really large selection of auto-specific domains, and that ranges from in-car control, obviously the basics, to our broader ecosystem. So you can say, is my flight on time? Navigate me to the first result. Text my friend that I'm running late, and weather-based. So it's really about inside the car and outside the car, and bringing that ecosystem that we have that's powering all these IoT products. And of course, you've heard about this, is you need to support multiple languages, you need to have a hybrid solution, you need to be able to do voice filtering, noise reduction, and obviously there's a hardware component to it that integrates it so you can get the clean voice experience. And lastly, full visibility into data and usage. This is really, really powerful. So we make sure that our partners understand how the performance is working. We provide them as many tools as we possibly can so that they can improve their product. We're in the business of making sure that we provide the technology, and we've solved some of the difficult challenges, but the connection to the customer really belongs to the brand, and full visibility is key, along with dashboards, data, and optimization. So just a quick summary of things I've talked about: a combination of complete solution, technology, domains, customization. we're just excited to be part of this industry, making our contribution, working alongside our partners and other companies, and seeing where everything goes. So thank you very much.